Yo, what's up, Broncos country? How's it going tonight, guys? So, this video tonight, me and Muhammad are going to do is our prediction video between the Falcons and the Broncos this Sunday. A few more things we're going to touch on, but mostly we're going to be giving our predictions and what we think is going to happen during this game. So, first off, Muhammad, um, the injury report for Wednesday just came out a couple hours ago, and it looks like, so far from what I've seen, is of course PJ Locke was full, Josh Reynolds was full. He seems to be back, which would be a big boost to this offense, in my opinion. Um, of course, Drew Sanders and Dante Turner Yell, they were full participants. I think last week they were limited, if I remember right. All week they were limited. This week, so far they're full. Zach Allen, it says on the injury report, elbow, but slash rest day. So pretty much he was limited today, but it was pretty much like, I guess, a partial rest day for him. Maybe he just, taking care of his elbow. And the last one was safety Brandon Jones, abdomen. He was limited today. Now, to me, that's the biggest one. Like that's the one I think we should keep an eye out for this week. Zach Allen's going to play. I wouldn't be surprised by tomorrow if we see he's a full participant in the game. But Brandon Jones, that one scares me because after that, there really ain't a whole lot of depth. I don't know why they don't give Skinner some snaps at the safety position. Like they kept giving it to when PJ Locke was out. Who were they running back there? Was it Devon Key or it was somebody that was not playing well back there at all? But with the injury report, what's your thoughts, Mohammed?
I was kind of worried when I saw Zach Allen pop up on the report, but it looks like he's just resting, should be coming back because we're definitely going to need him. I'm excited about Josh Reynolds coming back. Hopefully, we can see some little changes. Maybe he'll give the offense more boost. Give someone else a chance for Bo Nix to throw to. Yeah, Brandon Jones, that is a concern. I would say. Um, I think Skinner should be fine if they actually give him some, touches and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like I said, I think Zach Allen, he's going to be fine. I think his elbows, he's probably a little sore, but whenever they put elbow slash rest, like that doesn't concern me that much. I mean, he was still practicing today at a limited capacity. They probably just giving him a little bit of a break today, let him rest that arm, and then tomorrow he'll probably be a full go, I'm sure. Uh, Brandon Jones, granted, like I said, it says abdomen on the injury report, and he was limited today, but hopefully, he'll be fine come Sunday. At least this week, thank God they don't have to travel. They get to stay here in Denver, so that'd be good. He ain't gonna have to hop on a plane or nothing. He can get some extra rest on Saturday. But I think they'll all be good to go. I don't expect to see Drew Sanders out there. I think maybe probably one more week he'll probably be out. Same with Dante Turner Yell. I think he'll be out at least one more week, to get fully healed. Um, Josh Reynolds, that's another one. I hope he comes back on Sunday.
hmm
But as we all know, a couple weeks back, he had that traumatic, a thing
yeah,
that happened to him. Um, I'm kind of 50-50. I don't know if he'll play, but he could. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for it. Like I feel like if he's still a full participant, like any of those guys, like Drew Sanders, Dante Turner Yell, Josh Reynolds, if they're full on Friday, that would lead me to believe they're probably going to play, but maybe at a limited capacity. Coming back from those,
yeah.
somewhat injuries, I guess you could say. But jumping into the next aspect of this, first, I'm going to go Atlanta's offense versus Broncos defense, and then vice versa. So, looking at the numbers here, the Falcons have what they say is the fifth ranked offense. They have an average of, I think it is 375 yards a game with 27 touchdowns on the year. Now, if you go look at the Broncos defense, they only, their defensive yards average is 295 and 18 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on this, Muhammad?
I honestly think, Eddie, like they don't. Let me preface this by saying the Falcons just don't scare me, really. Like I'm not really, kind of worried about them. But their offense is gonna have a tough time playing against this defense. I don't think they played a defense like ours so far. I think Cousins is gonna be harassed the whole time. Good luck trying to pass. He's gonna probably be throwing a couple of interceptions with our, pass rush. Um, their running back is pretty good, Robinson. He's kind of
Yeah.
like that. That's a concern, but our run defense is decent. So I'm not really worried. I don't really see them doing much. I see, like I said, I see Cousins throwing interceptions and stuff, but it's going to be a lot of three and outs, um, most of the game, because they're not going to be able to pass the ball, and they're going to try to run it, but, our run defense is going to stop them. So good luck to the Falcons, I would say.
Yeah, my point on this is last week against the New Orleans Saints, which the Falcons lost, by the way. They lost to the Saints.
Hmm.
The Saints defense, as we know, the whole team is in shambles. They just fired their head
Yeah.
coach a few weeks ago. Like that team is in shambles. And the Falcons just got beat by them. I can't remember the final score, but um anyway, with that, like Kirk Cousins didn't have a single touchdown. I mean, he threw for over 300 yards in that game, but he didn't have a touchdown. He had one
Hmm.
interception. And, now I've talked about it. Even with KC's offense this year being as bad as it is, they're still top 10. They're 10th in the NFL in offense. Our defense, and I mean, come on. If you ask somebody today, who would they take as their quarterback, Kirk Cousins or Patrick Mahomes? Like, you know who people are going to take.
Yeah.
And we held Patrick Mahomes,
Exactly.
to only one touchdown last week in their house, mind you. This was in KC. That hostile crowd, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. We held them to one touchdown. We're going to be at home against the Falcons team. And I agree with you, Mohammed. Like, good luck. I mean, yeah, they got Kyle Pitts, but you know what? The freaking Kansas City Chiefs have Travis Kelce, arguably the best tight end in the NFL right now. They have Drake London, but the Kansas City Chiefs have Rasheed Rice and DeAndre Hopkins, who you can say Hopkins is maybe a little bit
Hmm.
past his prime, but he's still a good receiver. I think he's
Yeah.
honestly still a number one.
Yeah.
Um, the Broncos shut him down. So I'm not worried. Like, you're right. The Falcons are not going to be able to pass on this team. Like, and this is going back to what I said last week. Remember how we talked about a lot the last 2 weeks about the Broncos playing so much zone coverage and it was
Hmm.
just driving us crazy? But this week, you ain't got to worry about that because you're not going to have a mobile quarterback you got to worry about
Nope.
this week.
Yeah.
You know, it's not Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes ain't really technically a mobile type quarterback, but if he gets out, he can run and pick up a first down with his feet.
Yeah.
You ain't facing the Patrick Mahomes this week. You're not facing a Lamar Jackson. You're facing a 36-year-old Kirk Cousins who's not going to run. So this team this week is going to play a lot more man. They're going to probably like what we've been saying. Vance, play more man coverage. They're going to be playing a lot of man coverage this week. They're going to be blitzing Kirk Cousins like crazy because I think the Saints blitzed him a little bit last week. Not much, but they did. Whenever they did, they were getting home. I think they sacked Kirk Cousins like 5 times last week. The Saints did. Imagine what this Broncos defensive
Oh
front's
my
going
God.
to do.
I can't wait, Eddie. He's gonna be harassed. And like you said, he can't run. Like, what are you gonna do? Just gonna have to take the sack, or throw the ball, and he's gonna get intercepted. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, and go back to your point, Mohammed, that, they're going to try to run the ball. Yeah, that's probably what they're going to have to do. Because
Hmm.
the one thing on this Broncos defense that's probably the weakest, I mean, it's still good. Like you said, it's still really good, the run defense, but it's probably the weakest point on this defense. So they're going to try to run the ball. But that's not going to happen either because what the Broncos are going to do, knowing that they're facing a quarterback that's not very mobile, knowing that they
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
trust the secondary, knowing they can play man coverage and their DBs are going to lock these guys up, they're just gonna stack the box.
Yep.
Be like, okay,
Yeah,
go ahead,
stack it.
run. We
Yeah.
dare you to try to pass on us.
Hmm.
We dare you. That's exactly what's gonna happen. And the Falcons ain't gonna do it. They're gonna get shut down easily. Um, but moving on to the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Broncos offense versus the Falcons defense. Now, the Broncos offense so far this year is ranked 24th. Now, I feel like that's still way lower than what it should be. I mean, you just went up against one of the best defenses in the league last week. Now, people could say that, yeah, we didn't score any points in the second half, but Bo Nix was dicing up that offense or that defense of the Kansas City Chiefs. Like in the first half, they were slicing and dicing them up the freaking field. And once again, that was without weapons. They
Hmm.
don't have many weapons on this Broncos offense outside of Cortland Sutton, who I've said is a number 2 at best. And you literally you pretty much benched Javonte Williams last week, and Audric Estime got the start, a rookie.
Hmm.
So, but the Broncos this year so far are averaging about 300 yards a game, it seems like, and they've got 20 touchdowns on the year. Versus, let's see here, the Falcons defense, who has, per game, they're giving up 352 yards per game and 23 touchdowns this year. Bo Nix is going to, like, if he was able to, in that first half in the Chiefs game, maybe not so much in the second half, but that first half, he was slicing and dicing up that Chiefs defense like
Hmm.
nobody's business. He's going to destroy this Falcons off or defense. He's going to kill them. Like, I mean, outside, I mean, they got AJ Terrell, they got Justin Simmons back there, of course, and Matthew Judon. I'm not worried about Matthew Judon because we faced Chris Jones last week and we limited him, one of the best
Hmm.
pass rushers in the game, especially at defensive tackle. And they didn't play him at defensive tackle all game last week. He was on the edge a lot last week. Chris Jones was. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Um, and then whose secondary are you more scared of, the Chiefs or the Falcons? I'm more scared of the Chiefs.
Hmm.
They got two really solid corners back there, and Trey McDuffie, and I forgot the other guy's name back there. But they were both all pros. And Bo Nix had a field day against those guys. So Bo Nix in this offense, like, I think this, like, last week, if the Broncos would have won, like, that would have been like the big statement win for Bo Nix and this Broncos team, which they should have won. But I think this week is really going to be the week that we see the Bo Nix coming out. I mean, we've seen a few games this year where he's thrown for like 200 something yards every game, a couple touchdowns. I'm gonna pick it right now. I think Bo Nix is gonna go off for over 300 yards this week and 3 touchdowns, and maybe a rushing touchdown. He's gonna go off against this Falcons defense. What are your thoughts?
So Eddie, like with Bonix, like he's getting confident every game. He's getting more confidence and stuff. So he's very confident. Their defense is weak against the pass. So it's gonna be like you said, man. I mean, against the Chiefs, you see what he did. What do you think he's gonna do to them? The only one that kind of worries me, their safety, Jesse Bates. He's like a ball hawk. I worry a little bit about him. Justin Simmons coming back to Denver, being excited and stuff. I would watch him. I would say, he's gonna try to prove something. But for the most part, Eddie, like we don't even have to do that much. I mean, we could just run the ball, throw some passes and stuff, and we could easily win this game. We really don't have to do that much. But as far as passing, yeah, I think Bonix is gonna have a field day. Eddie, the 3 touchdowns you're talking about, it's not crazy, you know?
Well, that's the thing. Like you said about the safeties, like the Falcons do have two All Pro safeties in Simmons and
Mhm.
Bates, which I understand. But Bo Nix is like he's getting better and better at looking off the
Yeah,
safety. Like you see it every game. Like he'll like be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go right safety," and then the safety bites on it. And he goes back left.
yeah, yeah.
Like
You tricked them.
he
Yeah, that's
looks
true.
like he doesn't look like a rookie out there. That's the thing. Bo Nix does not look like a rookie. He looks like a veteran. Um, so I'm not worried about that by any means of the imagination. And it's probably true. The Broncos are probably going to run the ball. Like I think that's the other thing we're going to see a lot this game too. I think we're seeing Bo Nix, throw the ball all over the field, and we're going to see Audric Estime going out there balling. Like I'm sorry, Javante is done in Denver. Like I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but he got one attempt for 1 yard last week. We did not see him on the field. He was invisible. He was a ghost. Like they did not put him on the field. And that tells me that they're done with him. I think Sean's finally had enough. He's just like, Williams, you can't see the holes, man. You can't make the cuts. You can't do what you used to do. Or if or he's just, he's never been really good at seeing the holes. And, that's maybe the reason why he would always, carry 5 guys on his back. But now that,
Yeah,
ever since the
yeah.
ACL tear, like he's
Mhm.
not that
Can't do
same
that.
player. So, I'm excited, man. This is going to be a good game this week. But before I give my prediction, Mohammed, I want to get what your prediction is for this game.
So Eddie, I have the Broncos beating the Falcons 24-13.
Okay. What was I going to ask? So that seems like a relatively good take, honestly. But me personally, I got the Broncos winning this game 31-10.
So,
I think Bo Nix is going to have a freaking field day. Like I said, he's going to light up this defense. And this ain't no disrespect towards Justin Simmons. I think he's still a great safety, but Bo Nix, like we said it before on this podcast, and I'll say it again. He improves every week. And last week's test against the Chiefs. Now, yes, I understand he only scored 14 points, but I don't know what changed. But even that last drive of the game, where he got the Broncos, like that is some clutch stuff right there.
yeah,
You know, he got the Broncos down the field. Like you're talking about one of the best defenses in the league with Chris Jones, McDuffie, Karlaftis, all these good players on defense, Nick Bolton. And you got 2 minutes left to go in the game in Arrowhead with that loud team down by two. Bo Nix is like, this is a cakewalk. Boom, 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 right
yeah.
down the field. Gets him up to a chip shot field goal. And of course, we know what happens after that.
He's got that confidence, Eddie. Yeah, I see it in his eyes, man. He's confident. He's not afraid of anything. He's not afraid of throwing a interception. He's like
He's
whatever.
confident.
Yeah,
He's progressed. Like I said, to me, watching that game last week against the Chiefs, like I said, yeah, we didn't score any points in the second half, but just seeing his poise, seeing his confidence, seeing him just like, you know what, this ain't no big thing. Like I'll go out there and do what I need to do.
he's
If I
not
throw a
rookie
pick, I
anymore.
throw a pick. I'll rebound from it later.
Yeah,
Like that's something personally to me, Muhammad. You can't teach a young rookie quarterback. You know how many rookie quarterbacks we've seen throughout history that would make a just one bad play, one pick or whatever, take a bad sack, whatever, and they just walk off the field with their
yeah,
head down, and their
exactly.
confidence is just destroyed. I mean,
Just defeat.
God,
Hmm.
for God's sake, they're talking about this right now in Chicago with Caleb Williams. Like after that game Caleb Williams had against the Patriots, the Bears had against the Patriots, where what was it? They lost 19-3.
Hmm. They
Like
fired their OC too.
if you watch any of the major, media outlets talking about the Bears, are like, dude, they're gonna destroy. Like if they haven't, they're either like they've already destroyed Williams' confidence, or they're getting ready to, or it's going to happen here soon. Like, and you can
Mhm.
see it. You can see it from Caleb Williams. He's just what do you call it? He's just depressed. He's just like, what the
Mhm.
heck did I just do? Because now the reports are coming out that Jaden Daniels, of course, is the best rookie quarterback of this class. Let's just call a spade here. He
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Bo Nix, a lot of people are saying he's the second best, which you know what? I'll take. You
That's
know how
fair.
hard it is to get a rookie quarterback, like, especially in their first season, to play well? Bo Nix is improving every week. He's playing well every week. He's getting better every week. Drake May's coming in. Drake May has almost as many touchdowns as Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams has played all year. And I think Drake May's only played like what, 3-4
Mhm.
games? Like it's insane. Like Bo Nix, he's going to have a field day. I think this Sunday is going to be the big, coming out party for Bo Nix. He's going to throw for 4 touchdowns, or I'm sorry, 3 touchdowns. They'll probably rush for one. Like I said, Nix will have 3 touchdowns through the air. He'll probably have a rushing touchdown, and then they'll probably get a field goal somewhere in there. 31-10 is my score prediction. Like, the Falcons, yes, I understand they're an okay team. I mean, they're first in their division. They're 2 games up on, I think, the Saints, right? Or not the, is it the Saints or the Bucks? I can't remember. But I mean, come on, dude. That's the weakest division in football. Like, if you
Yeah.
can't win that division being the Falcons, then you really need to evaluate your talent on your roster. The Saints are a freaking dumpster fire. The Panthers are a dumpster fire. They benched a young quarterback. I mean, the only solid competitive team you have in that division would maybe be the Bucks, but I don't even think they're that great, to
Mhm.
be honest. So, but the last thing I wanted to talk about, Mahal, before we jump off here tonight, but like I said, 31-10, you got the Broncos winning. What'd you say, 24-13 or 21-13?
24-13.
24-13. I got them 31-10. But the last thing I want to talk about is I haven't decided. Yeah, I gotta wait until Friday to see how much my check is, but I might be going to this game this weekend. Just, I haven't got to go to a game this year and I really want to, and I might actually have a chance to this weekend because the tickets are actually relatively cheap, surprisingly. But with that said, what are your thoughts about Justin Simmons coming back to Denver on a different team?
Before I get into that, I just want to let everybody knows that ever since Eddie moved to Denver, he always got to tell me about him going to the game and the possibility of how easy it is for him to go to the game. Because I live in Virginia and the East Coast, I can't go. But anyway, I hope you get to go, Eddie.
Hey, it's
I
hard,
mean,
man. My wife barely lets me go.
but with Simmons, I mean, it's gonna be emotional for him, I believe. We all like all Broncos country love Justin Simmons. But That's what I was saying earlier. Boney's got to watch out because I know he's gonna try to make a point somehow. You know, Bonix is pretty careful with the football and stuff. But hey, I'm happy, man. I'm happy for him. I hope things are working out for him and his family. He was a big part of the Broncos. With the community and all. So I'm happy he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I was actually, like I said, I was watching Gauge, Broncos Syndicate before we went live today, and we talked about this before we went live tonight. The Falcons reporters out there in Atlanta were interviewing Justin Simmons, asking him about it, and I think, dude, I think Justin Simmons is. I don't want to say depressed, but I think he's sad. Like you could just tell by the way he was talking. Like he hardly said anything about the Falcons. All he said was like, "Yeah, I just want to get the win and help this team get to 7-3 or 7 and whatever they are." Um, but the majority of the time talking, he was just talking up the Denver Broncos. Like this is his home. He still lives here in Denver. His family's here. He's still very active in the community here. But him talking about it, he was kind of getting emotional about it. But this Justin Simmons is always going to be a Denver Bronco. And they asked him, like, what do you think is going to happen when you step out on that field, Justin, Sunday in Denver? And Justin's like, well, he's like, I think I'm going to get booed a lot, because it's just the nature of the NFL, you're playing for a different team now, even though if you were beloved in one city because you played there for your entire career, basically, if you're in a different uniform, people are going to boo you. I don't believe that at all. I think there'll be a few boos mixed in there, but the majority of
Mhm.
Broncos country, and I've been talking to people around here, and I know for a fact if I go, I'm going to be cheering Justin Simmons whenever I see him come out
Yeah,
of the tunnel.
yeah,
Like he's going to get a standing ovation from Broncos country because we're not like the Chiefs. We're not like some of these other dumpster franchises that whenever a player goes to a different team, regardless if they get traded, there's contract disputes and a guy they just can't come to a contract agreement. The guy goes to a different team and they come back here to play their old team. Like Broncos country has class. Like when our players leave, we give
mhm,
they if they come back, we give them a standing ovation. Like
yeah,
we respect and understand that what you did here in Denver is never going to go away. He spent, what was it, 7, 8 years of his career here in Denver. Now, the Broncos, he never made the playoffs here, which is a bummer. Like, I wish we could have made the playoffs with Justin Simmons here. But I'm happy for him, being in Atlanta. But like I said, come Sunday, I'm giving him a standing ovation if I go to the game. And so is the majority of Broncos country.
yeah. He
Like,
deserves it.
they respect him too much. And, I'm happy for him this year because this year, for the first time in his career, he's most likely going to make the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so I mean, of course, I'm gonna be rooting for the Denver Broncos when and if, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna make the playoffs. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna go 5-2 at worst in the rest of the year, and they're gonna go 10-7 and keep us hold of that 7 seed, and they're gonna make the playoffs. But the other team I'll be rooting for in the playoffs, mostly because of Justin Simmons, is the Falcons. Like I'll be watching every game of the Falcons in the playoffs,
Mhm.
and I'll be rooting for Justin Simmons to get his first playoff win, just like I will the Broncos. Like, and I'm telling you right now, Mohammed, whenever he does finally hang him up, I'll be really upset if the Broncos don't put him into the Ring of Fame here.
Yeah.
You know,
Hope he
just like
retires as a
Von Miller,
Bronco.
just like Von Miller, whenever he finally hangs him up, put him in the Ring of Fame here. And
Mhm.
also, I it was Chris Harris Jr. about a couple of months ago. Whenever he finally retired, he signed a 1-day deal to retire a Denver Bronco. I feel like Von Miller and Justin Simmons would both do the same whenever it comes time for them to hang it
Yeah.
up. They'll probably sign a 1-day deal with the Broncos just to retire a Bronco. So, but anyway, that's it for us tonight, guys. Please let us know in the comments what your record predictions are and what you think of Justin Simmons coming back to Denver to play against the Broncos this week. And please like, comment, subscribe on this video. Also hit that bell notification so you can notice whenever we go live anytime. If you got any comments, please drop them in now. If we can't get to them now, we'll get to them in a couple of days when we go live again. But Mohammed, I'm excited for Sunday, man. What about you?
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. I mean, I honestly think the defense is gonna have a field day. They're gonna have a lot of sacks, and they're gonna harass Cousins the whole time. So it should be an exciting game for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. Go Benito, get that, get another sack on Kirk Cousins. Make him fumble the ball, please, for the love of God. Give Bo
Please,
Nick some
yes.
good field position. So, but that's it for us tonight, guys. And we will see you again Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, or relatively around that point, after the Broncos get done. Because I can't remember if they have a late window or early window
Mhm.
game this week. I have to look it up. But thanks for joining us today, guys. And we'll see you again on Sunday. Peace.
All right.